The Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need a mortgage that fits your life? Rocket can.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. You can get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. So the Portland Trailblazers have hired Chauncey Billups as their next head coach. So Billups signs a 5-year contract. He will be officially introduced tomorrow. And then late last night, you had a story from Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports. And for those who don't know, Chris Haynes has kind of been the mouthpiece for Damian Lillard. He has gotten all the Lillard scoopage. He gets the exclusive interviews with Lillard publicly. So when Haynes puts something out about Damian Lillard's future, people pay attention because Haynes has that type of relationship with Lillard. And in Haynes' story that he puts out on Yahoo, the headline is Sources. Coaching process, inability to build title contending roster may push Damian Lillard out of Portland. And now we read the story here, right? And there's a lot of things sprinkled in this story that kind of paved the way for what I think is going to end up happening. And that's Damian Lillard is the next disgruntled superstar that wants out. In the story, the second paragraph, I'm going to read you it. It says, quote, Lillard has remained loyal to Portland in large part due to the tremendous fan base. But over the last few days, he's seen some of those fans attacking him on social media for a coaching hire he played no part in consummating, sources said. So you read that, and it's almost like, well, the tracks are being laid down for Damian Lillard to play that angle of, oh, well, the fans said mean things to me. And, they couldn't surround a real team for me, so I have no choice but to ask out. Lillard's trying to play the old I'm loyal, spin to Portland. I think he cares about his public perception if he asks out. Because he's always said he's going to stay there. He's always been like, I'm anti-super team. I want to play in Portland my whole career. But losing takes a toll on everybody. And he's been there for 9 years. He looks around the NBA and he sees all these teams that are, clearly in better position to win long-term than Portland is. And if you read through the tea leaves, it just seems obvious that something's coming with Lillard. And I love the Blazer fan base. Seems like a great, organization as far as the history and the pride they take in being, the only pro team in that area. But man, I just think we've seen this too many times in the NBA for us to just dismiss it as, at the end of the day, Lillard's going to stick around. We saw it with Anthony Davis. We saw it with James Harden. These superstars now more than ever know they have power. Now more than ever know that they could force their hand and get what they want. And is Chauncey Billups a hire that's going to keep Damian Lillard happy? I mean, I doubt it. Maybe. I have no idea, though, what type of relationship Damian Lillard truly has with Chauncey Billups. I don't know if it's a good or a bad hire. I just know that where there's smoke, there's fire. And when Chris Haynes is pointing out in his story that, Lillard has a relationship with Billups as a coach, an announcer, and former player. He, quote, had no prior knowledge of the past sexual allegations against him from 1997. For those who missed it, it came out that Chauncey Billups back in 1997 was accused of sexual assault. No criminal charges were filed, and they settled out of court back in 97 during Billups' rookie year with the Celtics. Like that story there by Haynes is being put out there by Lillard for a reason. I think it's obvious that as things continue to progress here, we could be looking at Damian Lillard getting dealt. And if he gets traded, you're talking about one of the top 5 players in the league potentially getting moved? I don't think that's hyperbole. Every team will check in. You already heard a report out there that, one of the teams that wants Damian Lillard, one of the teams that's interested in bringing him in is the Pelicans because they would be willing to offer Brandon Ingram and some draft picks. I'm sure you will hear about the Sixers trying to flip Ben Simmons in a package for Damian Lillard. You'll certainly hear about the Lakers, although I don't think they have enough to get it done. The Knicks certainly could be involved because they have just, a monster amount of draft picks. Obviously have some good young players, and they do have the cap space to absorb Lillard's entire contract without having to move salary. So that helps. But the Celtics could be in on Lillard. I mean, insert every team in the league that's going to want Damian Lillard if he says he wants out. But here's the reality. Just because he says he wants out doesn't mean Portland trades him to the team that offers the most. They trade him to the team that he wants to go to. Otherwise, Lillard could say, I'm not going there. A la James Harden forcing his hand and getting what he wanted to get a chance to go play for the Brooklyn Nets. So this could end up being the storyline of the offseason, Dame's future.
Have current events affected the ability for you to pay your bills? Has your credit card debt over